Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Hurricane Harvey victims in Dixon, Texas talk about the desperate conditions as more volunteers vow to help the affected residents. The musical adaptation of Sutra Profound Gratitude Towards Parents moves the audience deeply at its first showing in Shanghai, China. A cancer patient's photo exhibition is held at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital's palliative care ward to share his good works and encourage him. Tzu Chi continues its relief effort to help Hurricane Harvey victims. The volunteers visited Dixon of Texas to plan aid distribution for first responders. They recently revisited the city to meet the mayor and discuss upcoming relief work. During the visit to Dixon, Texas, they also saw volunteers from Austin who came to Dixon to help in the cleanup effort.
I don't have the right word to say. Devastated. We believe it's probably about 80%. Probably 50 of that 80% is severe. So much was lost, so much that we depend on every day. Contributions from Tzu Chi is going to help those that are most needy. They're going to get lists, get names and addresses from folks that have suffered damage and help them out financially.
Can you provide us an average income?
I hope that people see the impact that Tzu Chi is having on people's lives. It's cyclical, I hope, that you do good for us and we help later when we can.
Volunteers met with the mayor of Dickinson and the chief of police to discuss the distribution in the heavily affected area and how best to help the people most in need. Most people in Dickinson didn't evacuate, but the challenge of cleaning up is often too much to handle alone.
Well, living here is myself, my little sister. I had a couple other roommates. It's pretty much a total loss. We've got to gut the whole house, pull everything out, and try and sanitize it and save what we can.
So I'm gonna have to cut a line.
Well, this is where I've been staying for the last couple of days. This trailer is going to be here for, I would guess, months. There's been various organizations. I've had a couple groups come and help me out.
I'm a mother of 3. I've been living in Austin a lot of my life, and I just felt the stirring to go, you know, why not? Seeing people in need, my heart, I guess, just moves like a mom.
Helping others is human nature. If this didn't happen to me, I would be right out there volunteering. Once my house gets taken care of, I've got a truck, I've got a trailer, I'll do whatever I can, just point me in the right direction. You know, I've just seen monumental amounts of kindness from start to finish.
I actually only got a ticket to come. Probably at least this week I'll be here. I think it could recover. It might take some time, but as long as we continue to pour and invest, I say be patient and be consistent and, you know, not lose hope.
I really hope that someone can get the help that they need. You know, a few more days when this house can air out and I've got nothing left to do, I'm going to be right out there helping someone else.
In July of this year, a powerful earthquake struck Canagay area, which is located in central Philippines. 70 households were forced to move and stay in tents. Therefore, the local government asked Tzu Chi for help, as they hope Tzu Chi can provide them with prefabricated houses, just like those in the Da'ai village in Ormoc. Recently, Ormoc volunteers delivered their first batch of 36 prefabricated houses to the Canagay area.
After the powerful earthquake in July, Madeline's house, which is located in the mudslide area, can no longer be considered a residence. After she moved down the hill, she set up the tents next to the stream where the environment is also bad. Only Tzu Chi's blankets can keep her warm.
It's really hard to live in the tent because of the weather. It is very hot in the afternoon but very cold at night. My children all fell ill.
It's even more difficult to imagine that these tents once sheltered more than 10 people.
In the past, there were 3 families living in this tent. Now only 2 families live here, but the space is still quite small.
A total of 70 households were forced to move, but they cannot live a good life here. Therefore, local governments asked Tzu Chi for help and hope the successful experience of the Dai village in Ormoc can be applied here. Tzu Chi has delivered their first batch of 36 prefabricated houses here. Although the volunteers from Dai village in Ormoc are not building their own houses, everyone is willing to help without the boroughhead's recruitment.
In addition to giving us these houses to live, Tzu Chi also allows us to reunite again.
The construction of 2 prefabricated houses has been completed in just 1 day. This joyful atmosphere gives hope to the quake victims who were originally helpless.
Maraming salamat po, ma'am, sa Tzu Chi Foundation. Bagong bahay, bagong pag-asa.
In our next report, we meet a college sophomore who comes from Myanmar and has grown up in a single-parent family. As a mother has to raise 3 children alone, Tzu Chi has started to provide her with scholarships and subsidies since she was a 9th grader. Now she's at Tzu Chi and volunteers to serve others whenever she has free time.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Myanmar hold a free clinic at Ma Yangon No. 1 High School in Yangon. Enza Jiwei, who had studied at this school for 6 years, also came to help. Seeing her students doing some good deeds, this teacher cannot hide her joy on her face.
After she joined Tzu Chi, she has become livelier. She likes to help others and she's very polite. I think it is Tzu Chi that has changed her and led her to walk the right path.
Growing up in a single-parent family, Enza Jiwei has lived a difficult life with her mother since young. However, her life has changed after she started to receive Tzu Chi's assistance of scholarships and subsidies since she was a 9th grader.
I used to feel inferior and I was always eager to receive Father's love. But after I saw the children in the orphanages live happily when I went there with Tzu Chi volunteers to care for them, I think I should live a meaningful life.
Thanks to the volunteers' love and care, they have made up for her lack of father's love since childhood. Her sister has also seen her change.
Whenever she sees the children in the orphanages who are abandoned by their parents, she always feels sad. She'll always care for them just like her own family because she doesn't want those children to grow up without parents' love just like her.
Now Enza Jiwei is a college sophomore. As long as she has free time, she will go along with volunteers to help those in need. As she says, she will spread the love she has received from Tzu Chi to more people.
In China, the musical adaptation of Sutra of Profound Gratitude Towards Parents has recently been presented at Shanghai's Daning Theater for the first time. Nearly 300 onstage volunteers from all walks of life took part in the performance, touching the hearts of the audience. Many members of the audience remarked that they've reflected upon their own lives and learned about filial piety after watching the performance. Let's take a look.
Parents love their children unconditionally, offering warm, safe harbor. Watching the musical adaptation of Sutra of Profound Gratitude Towards Parents, many people reflect upon themselves.
The actors left a deep impression on me. It's like seeing my own life, including leaving my parents, marriage, having children, and the ups and downs. I think this is helpful as I've learned about what to do.
Since I gave birth to 3 children, I understand the part about pregnancy and child rearing. We must educate our children and be filial to our parents, doing things that are beneficial.
Huang Guirong, who hasn't returned home for 10 years, returned home to repent to his mother after participating in the Sutra adaptation.
When
I returned, I could not recognize the roads and find my way home. Then someone asked me, "Why did you become a Buddhist?" I replied, "So I won't be lost and can become a better person."
I feel deeply touched after watching the performance.
I saw these residents took part in the performance to express their feelings and love towards their elders and parents.
对长辈、对父母的这种爱心。
The musical adaptation of Sutra of profound gratitude towards parents is showing publicly in Shanghai for the first time. Shanghai Dragon TV reporters also report on this event. The performance has successfully passed on the importance of filial piety to its audience.
Tzu Chi's 11th Medical and Humanitarian Camp was recently held at Fuding Hospital in Fujian, China. The volunteers worked very hard to plan the courses in hopes of allowing everyone to understand medical humanities as well as reaffirm their aspiration for becoming a doctor.
Tzu Chi's Medical and Humanitarian Camp is attended by 154 future doctors and nurses. The superintendent of Fuding Hospital also leads 77 colleagues to join this event.
After these students went through the training, they have become very humble and compassionate. So this is their biggest change. The doctor's career is not simply a profession, but a platform where they can dedicate themselves to patients.
Even a little money or a handful of rice can be used to help those in need. Tzu Chi volunteers provide assistance for impoverished families with dignity.
Since I have expertise in psychology, I know many people may feel inferior after they receive help from others. However, Tzu Chi assists them not because they live in that guilt. After receiving help from Tzu Chi, they all said they will save handfuls of rice to help those who need more help after they regain a happy life.
To prepare for sign language performances and team activities at the camp, volunteers work together to rehearse.
Actually, she has her own business, so she's always busy, but she always spares her time to work with us. Sometimes she may sit in a corner alone and practice with the music over and over again.
Sister Li Hua works very hard. Even though she has been busy recruiting people, she is unhealthy. She still practices every day and night. I will try my best to help her.
How to practice environmental protection is a required course. The volunteers spread positive energy all the way by bringing their bags to pick up the trash and source recyclables.
Recently, medical volunteers for Northern Tima chapter visited the Genesis Social Welfare Foundation's Taipei branch to perform dental cleaning. 4 stations were set up, serving a total of 23 residents. These patients suffering from paralysis and more cannot express discomfort, so the dental team took extra precautions when treating them. Let's take a look.
6 years ago, due to a vehicle accident, Mr. Zhang became paralyzed. With difficulty going to the doctors and no dentist to do house calls at the care center, his oral health suffered. Thankfully, now there are team of doctors helping patients just like him.
Of course, it's very helpful. Although I brush his teeth for him each day, I can't reach the more inner areas. I think it's great to have this service.
Though dental cleaning is the most basic oral treatment for dentists, it's not without danger, as the dental team cannot know the discomfort of these patients when undergoing treatment.
They lack much of the basic reactions people might have. They might accidentally swallow tartar buildup or water, and that can lead to fever or coughing, and even water retention in the lungs, or in the most severe case, death.
TIMO members partner with the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital to provide a safer medical clinic for the patients by hooking them up to machines to measure their vital signs.
If their blood oxygen level is at 100, to check for their status, then we draw a caution line as 90. And if during treatments it falls below 90, then we might give them more oxygen.
Thanks to the dedication of the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital doctors and the medical team from TIMA, paralyzed patients like Mr. Jiang can receive the best possible care.
In Taiwan, 51-year-old media volunteer Lin Kun-tai was diagnosed with second-stage colon cancer last year. Despite undergoing surgery and chemotherapy, his cancer cells spread to the liver. Lin was recently admitted to Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital's palliative care ward. The hospital and his family knew he loved photography, so they held a small photo exhibition at the palliative care ward.
The palliative ward at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital has turned into an art exhibition because these photos on the walls were shot by one patient, Lin Kun-tai.
We hope to use the exhibition to show these photos so his family members could work together to complete this project.
51-year-old Lin Kun-tai is a Tzu Chi documenting volunteer. When he was having a health examination last year, doctors found he had colon cancer. However, the condition did not improve with chemotherapies. Nevertheless, he remains optimistic and has this wish.
He really wants to leave some love behind. If he can donate his corneas, then he will do it. If not, he will donate his body. If not, he will donate whatever can be donated. I know he has this wish.
The hospital and his family know Lin loves photography, so they held this photo exhibition. His son also wants to carry on his wish.
I'm not very skillful with taking photos, but I will practice my photography skills. I will use this to get closer to my dad and to fulfill his wish.
The volunteers also invited Dharma masters from the Jinsi abode here for him to take refuge in Buddhism and to bless him.
Our life is decided when we're born. Since our body has become sick, we'll just follow the course and also keep our mind open. We should remain optimistic because it's good to our health.
With care and blessing from his Tzu Chi friends and his family, Lin has the courage to fight against the cancer and wishes to resume his duty as soon as possible.
经过这次皈依后，我的信心更坚强，然后更不会有退转这个问题。那我现在已经走了慈济菩萨道，就是我永远都是上人的弟子。
In the 7th lunar month, Taipei City government is promoting the idea of burning all the joss paper together. During this month, the city burns an average of 500 tons of joss paper, but the figure is decreasing every year. Last year, the city government had a new idea, which was to use rice instead of joss paper. Currently, 24 temples in the city are promoting this idea to the worshippers.
During the Ghost Festival, stores and businesses line up along streets and pray for prosperities, so they burn incenses and joss paper, but it will endanger their health before money comes in. This has been the 18th year for Taipei City government to burn joss paper together. The amount is really amazing.
In Taipei, around 1,700 tons of joss paper is sent to an incinerator a year, and in the Ghost Festival alone, there are already 500 tons of it this week.
The city government continues a policy it issued last year, which was using rice instead of joss paper. When we look at these three tall towers closely, we will realize that they are piled up by bags of rice being wrapped in golden pieces of paper.
平常家里是拿金子，但如果有这个方法，他感觉还不错。可以啊，可以接受，环保吧。
This year, 24 temples in Taipei joined the city government in this new policy because they want to reach a balance between tradition and environment. The kindness is always a good blessing. Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology held a prayer ceremony. Students gave a performance of 5-colored deer king to promote correct religious belief and respect for life.
王愿意改吃素，我也愿意陪国王一起吃素。
从今天起，皇宫里禁止杀生，同时贴出告示，禁止到山林里打猎。
Susan Long, who plays the role of the Deer Queen, has been a vegetarian since birth.
I'm glad I'm a vegetarian because no animals are killed for me. I'll try to convince my friends who aren't vegetarians to become vegetarians.
Teachers and students also pray for those affected by Hurricane Harvey in the United States.
In Malacca, Malaysia, the owner of a popular restaurant began to contemplate running a vegetarian restaurant since she became a Buddhist in 2008. Nevertheless, it took her 4 years to realize her dream because her family was opposed to the idea at the beginning. Despite the difficulties, she studied vegetarian food recipes and worked hard to change her restaurant to a vegetarian one. Having experienced the benefits of embracing vegetarianism, she's very happy that she's now promoting vegetarianism.
With a variety of delicious dishes, this vegetarian restaurant is popular in Malacca. In fact, this restaurant sold me dishes for 15 years before its transformation.
I like to eat vegetarian pig trotters in vinegar because the taste is similar to that cooked by my mother.
The black beans in vinegar are also very tasty.
The restaurant owner Wang Li became a Buddhist in 2008 and began to contemplate running a vegetarian restaurant. Nevertheless, it took her 4 years to realize her dream.
Every time I mentioned this, my family would say that there is something wrong with me since I became the Buddhist. Then they would leave the table. However, it is irrational for me to sell meat dishes when I do not eat them.
She was doing well, and all of a sudden she wanted to change the restaurant. After all, she had been doing this for more than 10 years.
When she was selling meat dishes, the business was really good. After all, there are not as many vegetarians. Therefore, she faced challenges.
Reading up on recipes and choosing the food ingredients mindfully, she has successfully attracted customers to her vegetarian restaurant.
If it was not tasty, I would not be eating here for so many years.
I am often here when I am in Malacca.
Having experienced the benefits of embracing vegetarianism, Wang firmly believes that her decision is right.
I'm very happy that I'm selling vegetarian food now. So are my children. We've become more harmonious.
On the Penghu Islands, which is famous for its sights and sea catches, it is difficult to promote vegetarianism. Despite the challenges, city volunteers held an event to introduce the benefits of vegetarianism and the auspicious meaning of the 7th lunar month to the residents. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. See you next week.